So sometimes I'm always pissed off at myself that, or let me start the video like this. So um around August of 2021. So then I I just gained admission into university at the time. But it seems that I didn't want to go to university like up until then, especially from 2020. I started watching make money online videos on self improvement and stuff, and who the education system is a scam and everything. So I didn't want to go to school, and I think the main reason was just like I didn't, or at least one of the main reasons, other than like I watch all those YouTube videos at the time. The other one was just like I didn't really care about the thing I was got admission for, which was computer science. So I know if you're watching this, maybe you enjoy coding or you see AI taking over the world, you'll be like, why won't you care computer science? And yes, very true. Computer science is actually like an actually good degree. The thing that pisses me off about people that go to school is people that go to school for two reasons. First of all, they don't give two fucks about what they are doing, and worst of all, they are studying rubbish. Like you see some people, like in my IT place, I think I've said this in a few videos. Like I'm doing this IT job thing. So basically, the main thing we'll do there, at least for now, is like register people for JAM. See that same exam as it here in Nigeria, they'll still write to gain admission to university. So and like while the ones they will sit at the back of the computers, boss will sit at the front, so we'll input the details, you know, choose like they will write, they will fill a form. So we'll take this form and look at what they wrote, their first choice, the university they want to go to, the course they want to study, the subjects they're writing, blah blah blah. And many times I just see most people they just choose like stupid things that you just know like this is going to like there's no future. There's no future of like job. Like there's this thing, this skill or this degree is not valuable to the market. So that's the thing that pisses me off about people that go to school. And the other one is like people that are just studying shit they don't care about. Like somebody that is studying medicine but doesn't give two fucks about medicine. But at least to me that one there's still hope. At least when if you don't really care about medicine, your degree is still worth a lot. So computer science too, even though I give no fucks, degree is still worth it. Like the thing I really genuinely wanted to study, or the two things I would have really loved to study was either or three things rather. Was either literature, philosophy, or psychology. Those were the three things I actually genuinely like was interested in at the time. But I'd already written computer science, I wrote the exam. Maybe in one of these future videos I'll go more in depth in all those stories and the lessons I learned at the time. So basically, like I wanted to like so I just my plan was like I'm not going to go to uni. I live in Nigeria, so you should know how my parents, Nigerian parents, African Nigerian parents, would react to that. But that was basically the plan. Like I didn't want to go to school. I didn't care. I didn't care about computer science. That was like one of the main things that was discouraging me. And education is scam and everything, which to some degree it actually is. But that will be another discussion for another day. So my plan was like, I'll um, what was on the plan again? So the plan was like I'm not going to tell them. So like they were not doing registration to get into school. So like I already got the admission, so it was for me to like go and pay the school fees and start doing the clearance, give them documents and all that. But I just didn't want to go because like I said I didn't care. So it was not for me to tell my parents. Like my parents just noticed I was always resisting anytime they told me to go and do it. But it was not for me to tell them like I don't give two fucks about this. I don't want to go to school. So eventually, I told them. I told them eventually. And like I said, I'll go in more in details in the future. I won't feel like this. I feel like this video will benefit somebody that is going through something like that, or this channel rather, because during my own time, like I wish I saw somebody that had experienced something similar to that, and the advice they would give. But that'll be like later in the future. So basically, I told them, who I wanted to drop out, but basically they were against it, and eventually I ended up going to school, and I'm in my third year currently, which to some degree, looking back on it now, I'm still kind of glad I did go. I don't necessarily regret it, but like I'm happy the way the story went eventually played out. Sure. But one of the main things that pissed me off about myself at the time, and is what this video is supposed to be, even though I've been talking for 4 minutes now, that is not that, was I wanted to drop out of school, wanted to build businesses, wanted to start my YouTube channel, my filmmaking career, make all these faceless channels, make money online, make $10,000 a month, all these crazy things. I wanted to do all these big goals. But every single day, I was always like, just not doing that. I was not doing the activities that led me like the two things I was doing, or the three things I was doing the most at the time: watching YouTube, playing video games. So at least the game I was playing was on my phone, Asphalt 8. If you know, you know. Asphalt 8, I was watching YouTube for like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours every single day. Playing Asphalt 8 for another 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours every day. Then at night, for maybe almost every day, I was jerking off. And yeah, I was saying, oh, school is scam, the education system is scam, I want to drop out and everything. So, of course, even if I was maybe grinding 12 hours a day, my parents definitely would have still not agreed. But at least that would have been able to convince them a lot more. And it's one of the things that pisses me off till today. So I don't necessarily know how I want to explain this video title is, but I just want this video to be like one way to actually get people to respect your listening to it, because many times I make videos like this, so I won't just talk about stuff in general. People don't really believe me. Like, one thing I like to say a lot, especially to my roommates who's not around right now. One thing I like to say to my roommates is, or even just to myself, is like, I believe that I'm supposed to be a millionaire by now, and in dollars, by the way, not naira. But at least even if not a millionaire, I'm supposed to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And anybody I always tell that, yeah, that they will always look at me like, is he only $100,000? Call for you poor bastard. Okay, they don't necessarily insult it, but like, that's usually the mindset they have. And the reason why I always say that is because by the time I started watching all this make money online, learning about business and entrepreneurship and self-improvement and stuff, that was 2019. That was when I started watching and learning about all these things. And imagine I was just taking action since then. Like, imagine I just actually did those stuff instead of just watching. Imagine like where I would be right now, 2024, 5 years later, or 4.5 years now. Then later this year I'll make it 5 years. But basically, you get the point. So, but anybody I tell that, they don't really, like, they don't listen, they don't respect it, they don't care. And it's I know this video is getting too long and it's all over the place, but it's one thing also, like, I made a video too, I think, by the time I watching this one, it should have been yesterday. But action basically is everything that matters. Like, just watching or learning or saying doesn't mean shit if you actually don't do what you're supposed to do. You're not going to get the results, just like you saw from my story. So, but sometimes when you, like, it just usually annoys me that, like, you will now have these plans, but just because you're not taking your plan seriously, people will almost like, they will just almost disrespect your plan. So a good example I can give is back in 2022. So 2022, here in Nigeria, there was this long ASU strike. So for basically 8 months, we're just sitting at home for 8 months. So my plan during that 8 months was, like, I wanted to go all in on my YouTube channel. I wanted to focus on, like, making videos and getting better at cameras and cinematic videos and stuff like that. Like, that was my plan. But similar to 2021 again, I guess it was just a year after, I was not doing anything. Like, that was the plan, that was like my goal. But every single day I always caught myself still spending 5 hours a day watching YouTube. I didn't really play Asphalt this period, but just checking off, doing random things, like just doing things that are not actually that. So everybody at home, since all of us are just at home, parents, siblings, everybody at home, so you see me and think, I basically have no plans. So they'll be like, hey, why don't you go and learn this thing? Why don't you learn this tech IT program? So CCNA, which is like, I'm still like, I intend to even write the CCNA exam this year and just pass and get over it. But why don't you learn this? Why don't you go and learn phone repair? Like, because I kind of have an eye for tech, at least before, up until that 2019, I was like really into tech. I was a tech head, tech nerd guy. Like, I liked programming and techie stuff. That was part of the reason why, like, they said I should choose computer science. But up until then, I liked all those stuff. So they were like, why don't I go learn something techie related? And I always used to tell them that I already have something I'm learning or something I want to do, which was making YouTube videos. But just because my day-to-day action, they didn't see me actually making videos, or at least they didn't see me taking it seriously. They were like, they just almost like, yeah, you make your videos on the side, but go and learn this tech thing. And it always used to piss me off. It always used to infuriate me. And sometimes it's not even just that. Sometimes we're just giving advice in general. Like, there are some things you say that are not wrong at all. They are not false. They're actually very powerful, very valid. But just because you don't have those things, people just like discard it. They don't want to listen. Like, many times even on this channel, I want to start doing less of it, and I'll tell you why. Like, I'll give some advice on how to make money and stuff, and maybe somebody that even watches it, somebody that is passing, like my friend or brother or somebody, they will hear me giving that advice and will just laugh at me that you that is broke, you are giving somebody how to make money advice, and that's like it's actually true. Like you shouldn't listen to a fat person for fitness advice. You shouldn't listen to a poor person for richness advice. But it always just used to break my heart because what I'm saying is valid. I'm not just lying. I'm not just saying false things. Like I know for a fact that if we actually do these things, maybe not for a fact, but there's a 90% chance that if you do these things, you are going to get the results. But just because I don't have those things, I don't have the results. So the whole point, so at least what this video was intended to be before it became this long rant. But that's basically what this channel is about. I just like I'm not trying to make it professional, but I don't want the videos to be valuable to you. So hopefully you find some value from this. But I think one way to get motivation and stuff is to almost use those people's doubts as energy. Like I used to usually think, because one thing I struggle with a lot is motivation. Like I won't necessarily say motivation, but just like consistency. But yeah, consistency, motivation, whatever. And I used to always think to myself like, should I? Because there's a lot of power in the dark side, and the dark side is, or at least one part of the dark side is literally listening to all these people that are doubting you. Maybe like somebody I told, for example, maybe like my friend, I tell like I'm supposed to be a millionaire by now, and he's just laughing at you. Just listening to that and just basically taking that pain inside of you and just being like, we'll see about that. We'll see who'll be laughing 1 year from now. Imagine that kind of stuff. I feel like that shit is extremely powerful. But it seems that I also feel like it's kind of toxic because on one hand you're valuing others' opinions and like you're holding resentments and blah blah blah, and even when you achieve the thing you'll not eventually be fulfilled and all that. But I feel like sometimes you need to use that toxic energy. Like one thing that like somebody like to say a lot is to use what you have. Like start with what you have. If you have passion, start with that. And if you don't have passion, if you have anger, start with that. If you have resentment, start with that. If you have pain, start with that. If you have brokenness, poverty, like use all those negative emotions as fuel. And I feel like using people's doubts is also another thing. Like maybe they say you should go and study something you don't care about, and they are like, oh, but I actually want to do this, and yeah, you do that on the side. Like actually use that energy to like be like, I want to prove you guys wrong that this thing said I should it's to never really become something. It's going to not even just become something, it become something bigger than none of you focus could ever imagine. So that's basically just like that was what this video was supposed to be before before the whole rant I went on. But I feel like you should like one way to just get motivation is to use that dark side, to use that dark energy. And if you want to listen to people like David Goggins, they use this almost every time. I feel like we should start tapping into, even though it's not very healthy and stuff, and like it's not clean fuel or fuel, but I feel like it works, it helps. Like literally just thinking to yourself every day, like I'm going to prove you wrong. Can't wait till the day I achieve this thing and show it in your face so you know how wrong you fucking are. I feel like that motivates people a lot. Like that motivates, at least for me. Anyways, yeah, so one way to get motivation if you don't have is to use the dark side.